All right, and welcome back to the show. We got a 5-bone prime rib for you today, 11 pounds. We're going to show you how to trim it up, season it up, cook it up. Stick around. Don't go anywhere. Okay, so let's get right into this. The first thing we're going to do is trim this up. There's a bunch of silver skin that lays on the top of this. We're going to get that silver skin off of there because you definitely can't eat that. So let's start with getting this off. So I start by putting my fingers underneath. You could see how thin that is. Whatever fat that I can keep, I'll keep it, the good fat. And I'll start by cutting off all this silver skin that lays under there. See, if I kind of peel back, I can see, look, and see, but it doesn't look like I'm gonna get away with that today. Looks like this is all gonna be not good fat. See that, how that comes off of there? If you don't see any silver skin under there, you're good to go. And I'm just gonna clean this piece up right here. And this piece on the top. Let's get rid of that. And we're looking for kind of a smooth, even transition into the meat. All right. You want to start keeping your knife flat like this as you're cutting along. And lifting up and pulling underneath with your fingers first. And most of this will just come right out of there. See, I don't see any more silver skin, so we did a good job over there. And now, we're just leaning it out, making it look pretty. All right. Now, I'm gonna flip this around. You could see some silver skin in here running through. See it? Just how the light hits it. So I'm gonna take my knife and get that out of there. Now, you could have your butcher do this for you, but I paid a little less money to do it myself. Will this take you 5 minutes to come through here? 7 minutes? So why let them do it? And I take pride and pleasure in doing my own. Now underneath this piece of meat right here, this is all silver skin. So I'm just gonna stay as close to that piece of meat as possible. Come around and get that off without losing meat. So if you look at this, that's kind of where you want to be if you lose any meat. And that piece of meat right there, just get right up under there, like that. Come that way. You kind of pull it as you're going along and keep it cleaned up. Just like that. And you can see that silver on there. I don't really see any more on that side. We're good. And I got a piece down here, right in here. So let's just cut this out of here. And I can see that piece right in there. Just follow right along. And that's it. Little piece right here. And a little piece right here. All right, so we got this half done. That off of there. And as you can see, it's starting to look cleaned up already. Now this is the front half. This is where the bones are. So I'm gonna flip this over. Show you the bones. See our bones? There's 5 of them. Let's find them. So the first thing I like to do is hold it this way and come down right about, I'd say right about here. and come down and do my first cut. Now all this meat I save, but I want to expose my bone and get it started, because as this piece of meat's cooking, the bone's gonna draw back. So if you flip this way, I'm a lefty, so I gotta keep moving back and forth for you guys. So I'm gonna just gently cut this out and pull it away from the bone. I don't want to take away too much. And this meat, I'm gonna save it, grind it up later on, and you can mix it with other things. Let's pull this out of here. So now we got that piece out of there. We're just gonna clean up a little bit around the bone. Not too much, because you don't want to fringe it. Fringing is just pulling all the bone back. So this is how I do my prime rib, just like that, because I try not to waste anything. And there's a big fat cap here, so I just get in there and just cut that off, like that. And I start cutting this thick fat down and lower to the meat. Just like that. And I save all this fat. This is such good fat, especially on here, that you kind of want to save that. And start exposing the top layer. All right. Alrighty. And I'm just going to get this lower, closer to the bone. Just like that. All this fat, it's going to render away as you're cooking it. Now we're going to be slow roasting this, real nice and slow, over a real fire. So most of this will just cook right away, and it'll get away from the bone. There's a piece of silver skin right here. You can see that. So let's get that out of there. Just like that. So that's gone. And that's about it. I'm gonna go a little bit more thinner on the fat cap. Just play it by ear, feel it out. See where you want it. And if you guys are people that don't like fat, let me just trim this up. Don't worry, this type of fat is good fat and it'll render down. And now you got a nice even piece here. Just like that. And let's cut this little piece off on the end here. And you're just basically just going around trimming it up. Nothing crazy. And look at that. Make it even. And that fat's gonna look so good when it's roasted too. And that is it. Now for our bones, underneath, what I'll do is just put a little slit in between the ribs. Let me turn that towards you, just like that. Find your bone, feel it, slice. And I don't pull off this membrane. I just come up to the bone with it, just like that. And that is it. So we're gonna season this guy up. We're gonna get it slow roasted for you. And there you have it. Just like that. All right, we're gonna come back. We're gonna get this seasoned up, and we're gonna show you how to get it onto the cooker. Stick around, don't go anywhere. Our roast is ready to be seasoned, but we need to tie it up because it needs to be tight. And it's gonna keep its form and it's gonna have a beautiful shape when we're roasting it. So over here I have some twine. Because it's not going directly into the fire, we're gonna roast it slowly over the fire. We can get away with this string. So let's tie it up. What I do, I start off on the end like this, and I leave it whole, the string. Now, if you have problems tying, you don't have to do my way. See how the bone draws in? You don't have to do my way, but I get it nice and tight. I turn like this. Let me do this again. To get it tight, I put my hand here. I usually turn it like this. And this is my first knot. And I tie off the first knot. I've got butterfingers today. Here we go. Once you get past the first knot, you're good to go. Here we go. This is live. So I'm going to cut that first piece off. Just like that. And as this roast starts to cook, it'll be a little tighter. So here we go. Bring it under. Again. And I'm making it easy for myself, so I'm just gonna loosen some string and get it off of this roll. Just cut it off, but leave it whole. Now we'll take our hand, go across, lift the meat up, hold it, and come around right about there. Now I put my hand right about here is where I want my string to be, so I kind of leave it loose and just go underneath with it like this, leaving my hand here. That's where I want my second knot to be. And I'll come in, take our string, go around, pull it through, and make that nice and tight, like that. Like I said, once you get the first knot in, you're okay because you don't have to tie knots anymore, and you can go up underneath of it, like this, and pull it through. And like I said, if it's easier for you to cut it and do sections, I like to do it this way, because if you're doing soups or anything else, this string can come off in the meal, and it's a bad day if somebody gets a hold of this and the food. They could actually choke on it because it's not good to ingest. So that's why I leave it in one piece so I can find it in one piece. Again, here we go. Make it tight. And come up under here. This is just so it looks pretty and holds form, because after it's done cooking, it's going to stay in that little form. And that's what you want. That's what you're looking for, to have it hold together in that one form. So I'm going to tighten, get it straight on your bones, and this is the last one. I'm going to tie it off. Pull it up. Leave a loop. Now, the string was so long that I'm actually gonna cut about here and then tie it off. Go through here, underneath. And the first knot and the last knots are always the hardest. And let's create a little loop like that. Come underneath for both of them. Then I'm going to go through this last loop. And here we go. Here's our knot. Now she's tight. I'm going to put another knot in there, just to make sure to tie it off. And there we have it. Just like that. And then cut. There we go. That's it. So now she's tied up. We can go from the back. We can see over our ribs. Go over here in between. I could have put more string, but why? This is gonna do the job and it's gonna look great. I'm gonna make sure my lines are straight, my string is straight, and by the time this is roasted with that on there, it's gonna look fantastic. Let's just make sure everything is pulled through and in shape. That's it. Now our roast is tied up. Now that our roast is tied up, I have kosher salt, very coarse. It's basically pretzel salt, and we're gonna go in with some kosher salt. See how thick that is? Just like this. Now this is gonna sit overnight with that salt on there, like that. Not a lot, but you want it to draw some of the moisture out of this meat. But not too much. All right, so we're gonna rub that around, just like that. We're gonna do the sides. Now, I don't have much salt left in this box, and I'm gonna take it out of that box tonight, because you don't wanna touch stuff like that. Touch the box and put meat on it, and next thing you know, you go to put this away in your drawer and you got contaminated meat on the box. So that's what I'm gonna do. But that's the coarse kosher salt, and that's what you want. Now, we're ready to go away in the fridge. Keep my little fats in here. And now our roast is tied up, it's seasoned, and tomorrow this is actually going on a cold smoker. So we're gonna cold smoke it first, then we're gonna slow roast it, and we're gonna show you another rub that we're gonna put on it. Some rosemary, oil, garlic, and fresh herbs. We'll show you that part tomorrow. And there you have it. Don't go anywhere. All right, so we're out here. We got a nice, beautiful day, as you can see. We're going on to the cold smoker first with this. So this is just gonna be no heat, just cold smoke. And that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna let this prime rib just cold smoke for about 5 hours. It's gonna infuse all that flavor on here. So let's get it on. Move this off to the side. And I have my probe here hooked up with it. It's registering at 41. I just took it out of the fridge. And it's ice cold, basically. So it's going right onto a nice cold smoker. And instead of letting the meat sit out, we're just gonna go right onto a nice cold smoker with it. We're gonna bring it up the temperature. I'm gonna close this up, keeping our smoke. We're gonna bring this up the temperature. And once it comes up to about room temperature, 72 degrees, it's about 74 degrees outside right now. When this comes up to about 74 degrees, we're gonna take it and we're gonna start to slowly cook it and we're gonna roast it. And that's our game plan. So this is our cold smoke. Nothing but cold smoke. I have a cold smoke generator hooked up to the left-hand side of it. Call it Smoke Daddy. And the only thing this thing is doing right now is just pumping out cold smoke. I just started it. The smoke is gonna get a little crazy, but I like to put it on when it's calm. Let's take a look at the bottom of this. As you can see, look at all that smoke coming out of there. So it's just getting started. And that's just cold smoke. And we're gonna cold smoke this for, like I said, about 5 hours. And then it's coming off of here. We'll show you what to do then. Stick around, don't go anywhere. All right, so I planned on 5 hours. Weather got terrible. We only got away with 3, and I just let the cold smoke just go out. So we're gonna pull this, and onto the other cooker we go. And hopefully we get a break in our weather out here. Even though I'm screened in and covered, the wind's blowing, it's still coming through the screen. But we still gotta cook. The show goes on, as they say. So we're gonna take this now, and then we're gonna get this onto our other cooker. Stick around. Don't go anywhere. All right, this is what we're cooking on today. This is a converted 1978 oil tank. All custom made. I got 2 vents on the top, exhausting out. Nice temperature gauge in the middle. And I even have the original oil cap in here too for just slight venting. So let's take a look inside. I call this my fireplace. This cooks exactly like a fireplace, and it's big enough in here. It's got the same exact room as a fireplace. So this is my fire setup over here. I even have a fireplace holder in here to hold all my wood in here. And this is my slow roaster. This is what I use it for. I hang meats from there. All the way up in here. This, you can go all the way up top. That's how high this is. So I have more height up here. I can hang stuff from all the way up above and hang it down. And it's just a great cooker. So this is what we're slow roasting with today. Weather's not too great outside, so this is a good overall cooker for just keeping wind out of here. So that's what we got. Our fire's protected. It's not gonna get crazy in the wind, and we're gonna still slow roast this prime rib. I got a lot of winds today, and we'll still slow roast this at about 225 degrees, and that fire's not gonna blow around or budge. So this is my cooker for that. Stick around. Don't go anywhere. All right, so our fire's lit. We're stabilizing it. Let's see what's going on in here. All right. That's what we're looking for. Just like that. Nice, easy, even fire. All right, we're gonna close this up. We're gonna let this fire stabilize. And we're gonna get our food on. Stick around. Don't go anywhere. So we're running about 225 right now, 230. Time to put this meat on. Now, I left the probe plugged in here, so you can see the probe plugged in. And what we're gonna do is, I made a paste. Rosemary, garlic, fresh thyme. And we're just gonna rub it right on here. Just like that. Right before this is going on. And the reason why I go right before, it's prime rib and I don't want it to be too powerful. So I just kind of pack it around the top like that. Just rub it right on the top of there. That's what you want to do. Get the sides a little bit. And right before you go on with it, that is it. Now garlic, thyme, and rosemary can be very powerful. So with a piece of meat like this, as it starts to slow roast, it's gentle. So you want to make sure that you don't overpower this meat. And that is it. And onto the cooker we go. Look at that fire. Now I'm going to make sure I get my meat probe outside. There you go. Right on the swing. And make sure I don't tip anything. Make sure I put a little bit more of my spices in here so they don't go to waste. That's it. We're gonna see this nice cut of meat about 2.5 to 3 hours. So stick around. Don't go anywhere. So we're about an hour, 10 minutes in. Let's see what we got. I'm gonna open this up quick because I want to get it closed up quick. But look at that. That is beautiful. You can see all those nice herbs on top. And look at that nice mahogany color. And our fires go nice and easy. And that's what you're looking for when you slow roast. Keep it right around 225 degrees, and you'll never go wrong. All right, I'm going to stabilize this fire, close this back up, and I'll see you in just a little bit. Stick around. Don't go anywhere. So we're at 126 right now on the scale, and we're going to pull this at about 132, 133, somewhere in there. And let's just get a shot, show you what this looks like. And look at that. That is slow roasted prime rib. Now most meats shrink as you cook them. That one got bigger. And you see what I say about the string tightening up? So as it's gonna cook, get more done, slow roasting, and look how those bones just are pulling away from that piece of meat. That's exactly what you want. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna let this go up to about 132, 133. We're gonna pull it, we're gonna let it rest for about 20 minutes. We're gonna meet you on the cutting board. Stick around. Don't go anywhere. All right, we're here. We're on the chopping block. Let's see what we got. All right, take a look at that. Now, I let this rest for about 20 minutes. Actually, I'm sorry, I let this rest for about 30 minutes. And we're gonna pull this probe out because now I can. And onto the cutting board we go. Now, the first thing we're gonna do is find our string. And as I was telling you I want to pull this off on one piece, and that's why I tied it in one piece. So I'm going to flip this to the back. I'm going to find our string. And we're just going to cut through. And our third string. There we go. And we're just going to start pulling. And the nice part, it's all one piece. So even though I cut those three from the back, we're looking for one string out of this whole roast. And this roast came out beautiful. All right. So here's our string. It's the first thing I get out of here, so there's no accidents. And like I said, this is why I like to do it in one piece, because you find all your string, not even a sliver of it left over. All right, let's get into this. So I'm gonna go this way, find our bones, and I'm gonna cut right down the middle. Let's do it. See what we got. I'm gonna go that way, and then I'm just gonna finish off like that. All right, here's that moment. Look at that. That is beautiful. Let's show you this piece. Look at that. Perfect. I pulled this at 130, and that's how I like my prime rib. So what we're gonna do now is just go down, separate these bones, and we're gonna get a nice little taste of this. Look at that. Is that beautiful? Let's go for a little pitmaster taste on the end here. I'm gonna cut it this way. Just gonna slice it. And that cuts like butter. Look at that. Now normally what I do, I have a choice. I can slice it this way. And for anybody that doesn't like their meat rare like this, and it's really not that rare because that dark color came from all that nice wood that we smoked it with. Let's give that a taste. Wow. That's excellent. It's smoky. You can taste those nice herbs on the top. And it's just, words can't really describe this. All right, let's plate this up, and I'll see you right back here. Stick around. Don't go anywhere. All right, and there you have it. Prime rib, slow roasted, Southern style. And if you like this video and more that are about to come, hit that like button and please subscribe. And until then, we'll see you next time. Thank you for joining us. Got to get that little pitmaster taste here.